Explore yourself back-to-back online classes live from Puravjit sir. आज ही सब्सक्राइब करें स्मार्ट क्लासेस गांधीनगर ऑनलाइन स्टडी।
Dashrath Manjhi ran away from his home at a young age and worked at Dhanbad's coal mines. He returned to his village, took up work and married Falguni Devi. While crossing Gelore Hills to bring him lunch, Falguni slipped and seriously injured herself. They could not get her to the nearby hospital because there was no straight access to the town, which eventually led to her death. Manjhi was deeply disturbed and that very night decided to carve a path through the Gelore Hills so that his village could have easier access to medical services. He carved a path 360 feet long, 25 feet deep in places and 30 feet wide to form a road through the rocks in Gelore Hill. He quoted,
"When I started hammering the hill, people called me a lunatic, but that's still my determination."
He completed the work in 22 years, 1960 to 1983. This path reduced the distance between the Atri and Wazirganj sectors of the Gaya district from 55 kilometers to 15 kilometers. Later, Manjhi said,
"Though most villagers taunted me at first, there were quite a few who lent me support later by giving me food and helping me buy tools."
For his achievement, Manjhi became popularly known as the Mountain Man. His name was also proposed by the Bihar government for the Padma Shri Award in 2006. When a movie on his life was announced, Manjhi was on his deathbed. He put his thumb impression on an agreement and gave away exclusive rights to make a film on his life. The Mountain Man was given a state funeral by the government of Bihar. Tracks to Tajnagar. For 25 years, residents of Tajnagar village near Gurgaon lobbied for a railway station in their village. When their demand was not met, the villagers decided to take matters into their own hands. They pulled in 21 lakh rupees and built a railway station on their own. Most of the 3,000 people living in the village are farmers. But such was the burning desire to have a station in the village, everybody contributed according to their capacity, ranging from 3,000 rupees to 75,000 rupees.
They donated money for the station and we started the construction in January 2008.
Said Ranjit Singh, a former village sarpanch.
There are a large number of people in the village who need to go to Gurgaon, Delhi and Rewar. There are students who go to colleges. Till now, we had to either go to Halimandi or Patli to catch a train. Both the stations are 6 kilometers away from Tajnagar. We thought when the railway lines pass through the village, we would have a station here. But that didn't happen. So we raised the demand in 1982 and have been continuously asking for it. But the railways told us that they did not have funds. So finally, we decided to craft our own destiny.
Said Hukam Chand, a member of the committee. As a result, the Panchayat passed a resolution in 2008 saying that since the railway was not able to build a station for them, they would do it for themselves and with their own money. Soon an 11-member team was formed and the team started collecting money from villagers. On 7th January 2010, as a result of their efforts, the first railway station in the country on which the railway did not have to spend a single rupee started operations. Sitapur's Light. In rural Uttar Pradesh, over 60% of households are without power. Sitapur district is one such place with no power. A small social enterprise called Mera Gaon Power (MGP) is trying to change things. They are putting 2 solar panels at a time. In just over a year, MGP has connected more than 3,500 customers to solar power mini grids at a village level. Village by village, MGP is building a network of low-cost solar microgrids that provide 2 LED lights and a mobile charging point to all paying households at a cost of 25 rupees per week. That is cheaper than kerosene, which can cost almost double across a month. Solar power as a smokeless source of light comes with added benefits to customer health. Installing a microgrid is a grand event in the village and everyone gets involved. In the village of Damdampurawa, the team maps the village house by house beneath the scorching midday sun, working out where to place each wire so as to connect customers to the power source. Some householders join in, while others look on, calling out orders or watching the curious proceedings wide-eyed. The roof of a sturdy brick-walled home in each village is always chosen as the site for the panels and the battery. Azaz, one of the company's first electrician to be recruited from the local district block of Reuza, installs the panel in a southerly direction to capture as much sunlight as possible.
We are saving our environment with these lights, and there's no pollution in our homes either,
says a farmer from the village.
New businesses are starting to emerge amongst the customers too,
says another.
In one village, customers are using the light to weave saris by night. In another, one man now has a night business making plastic tablecloth.
He says, "It's nice to have light while we cook and eat. Our children are also studying more now." Palakkad's Public Library. In Kerala, the Palakkad District Public Library has been up and running since September 2013. It is a fine modern library, a center for information, knowledge, wisdom, cultural activities, research and reference. But it has recently been in the news for different reasons. A third of its 1,000 members are women. These women, supported by the shared space the library offered them, launched a women's unit in February 2014. The unit got together to discuss methods of empowering women. The library opened its halls for film screening, workshops in home economics or gardening, childcare or the arts, and for women to get help in managing family conflicts, legal disputes, and professional problems. The secretary of the library pointed out that through reading, women would realize their own strength and forge a unity. It was noted that the lending libraries of earlier times were disappearing and the present rural reading rooms were too often full of only male readers. The unit discussed that if the once well-read women of Kerala continued to squander their hours in front of television, it would encourage a climate in which women are afraid to go out after dark. So, the unit has formulated plans on opening separate reading rooms for women. Palakkad's district library stands tall as a beacon to encourage women's empowerment through classes, clubs, workshops and reading rooms. And then, there are the books which will provide the women the strength they need to make good use of these opportunities.